All right, legends, we're back with our round 22 footy tips and predictions. Welcome on in. First things first, let me know what your tips are for this week in the comment section below. I'd love to know. But let's pretty much get straight into it. We did pretty well last week. I think I only got one or two wrong. I think I tipped the Bulldogs over the Giants. Did I? Did I tip the Giants? Or maybe I was wrong. I don't know. I tipped the Crows, tipped the D's, tipped the Suns, tipped the Swans. Lions I didn't tip. So yeah, a couple wrong, but that's not too bad. All right, let's see how we do this week. Let's get into it, baby. Here we go. All right, so round 22. Let's just head over there. Click that. All right, first game on Thursday night is going to be an absolute cracker. It's been between the Hawks and the Pies. Going to be a hard game. The Hawks really need to show up here and try and get the win. And at the same time, the Pies really have to show up and get the win to secure a top 4 spot. I think they've almost secured it, but if they lose here, there's a slight chance of dropping out. So, provided, there's certain teams like Geelong get all the wins that they need to get, and Geelong, believe me, will get the win this week. But the MCG, Thursday night footy, I don't know what the weather's going to be like at the moment over there, but I think it's going to be okay. I think it should be a really, really good game to watch. I'm really looking forward to this on Thursday night. I think it'll be an absolute cracker. I'm going to tip the Pies by a couple of goals, but I would not be surprised if the Hawks really came out and had a point to prove, because against the Crows, they started really well and they just faded, and then they came good again and then they faded again late. So I think the Hawks have something to prove. They're not going to have to travel for the rest of the year, I'm guessing. Let's have a quick look. Does it tell me? No. We'll go back. Check round 23. Do Hawthorn travel? No. MCG, final game of the year. They do. They have to go to Brisbane. Okay, so they do have to do a bit of travelling. So, okay. Hawthorn really need to get the dub here. Yeah, they just have to. It's going to be an interesting one. Pies by 3 goals is my prediction. This one's pretty simple. Jeremy Cameron will beat Essendon by himself. In my opinion, I think Jezza will probably kick 5 goals. And Essendon will kick less than that. That's a low bar too. I think Jezza could kick 7 or 8. I think Geelong are going to look for him the rest of the year and try and get him over the line for the Coleman medal. But I'm going to go the Cats by 78 points over the Bombers, and Jezza to defeat them by himself with his own scoreline. Let's go to Saturday. The Tigers and the Saints. I'm going to tip the Saints in this one. I think they'll just get over the line. The Tigers still just not quite there yet. They're getting better, but yeah, unfortunately they'll get beaten by the Saints, in my opinion. Probably 4 goals of difference there. Let's move to a big game for the Lions here. Now, it's the grand final rematch from last year, but this has a lot of ramifications. If the Lions can't win here, then top 4 really opens up to everybody. They have to get the dub at home over the Swans. I think that they will, provided their last couple encounters. But yeah, they just have to win. They absolutely must win here. And I think that they will. I think they'll get up by about 2 goals. I think it'll be a bit closer than it was at the grand final with an absolute blowout. I got to be there, which was fantastic. All right. Carlton versus the Gold Coast Suns. I think the Suns will get over the line here. The Blues are just playing some horrendous football. They started well against the Dockers away and then faded away late. It was just like the most Carlton performance I've ever seen in my life. So I think the Suns will get over the line at Marvel Stadium. They have to really get this win here to cement top 8 status. And who knows, they might even sneak in the top 4 if they get a win here. So depends on the results, obviously. But if they can get a decent win against the Blues, which I expect them to by about 5 goals, I think they'll be all right. We moved to Port Adelaide and the Dockers. I think the Dockers will get over the line here at the Adelaide Oval. Port are just playing some dismal football at the moment. Guys like Jordan Sweet and, some of their other players are really trying hard, but he just doesn't have a lot of help at the moment. There's some players that just really aren't trying. They seem not motivated. Ken Hinkley's on the way out. It just seems like, it's burnt the candle from both ends this year, and it's really run out of wick at the moment. I think they're just in a lot of trouble. Carr's going to have a big job ahead of him for next year. There's just, I don't know. They're going to have to try and pick up some decent players in the off season to, make up for the fact that there's a really good coach leaving the organisation. So, Dockers by at least 6 goals over the Power, in my opinion. I think that they're playing good footy and their momentum shall continue. The Giants take on North Melbourne. Pretty simple one here. I think the Giants will get over the line by about 10 goals. North are still rubbish. The D's, take on the Bulldogs. The Bulldogs should win here. Again, they're playing for a spot in the 8, so they really got to work hard to get these kind of wins under their belt. I think they will. I think they'll get up by about 8 goals over the Ds at the MCG too, which is good for the Bulldogs for a bit more MCG practice. And then the West Coast Eagles take on the Adelaide Crows. Crows are first in round 22, which is mind-blowing to me. I can't believe it. $17 to $1.02. That's basically all it says. Between 60 and 100 points is what we're expecting here, provided the weather is good. Yeah, Crows to get an easy win and boost their percentage and sit on top of the ladder even, more comfortably. Who knows? If Collingwood lose and the Crows are a game up on the top of the ladder, anything could happen. So Pies and the Crows equal at the moment. The Crows are basically guaranteed to win. The Hawks really have to work the Pies over here. So who knows? Who knows? Crows won the last 5 in a row. That's a fair effort. All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next video next week for round 23 footy tips. Round 21? Round 22? Yeah. Round 23. Holy moly, this year's gone fast. I'll see you guys soon. Bye for now. Peace!